Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Bradford Save, where I am re-evaluating everything I said in the last episode about us overachieving last season, because as you can see, we're still in the playoffs. Yep, that's happening right now. So, Cardiff are top though, 9 points clear. We'll see if anyone can catch them over the course of the season. We're only 14 games in, but they have 9 points to lead on Aston Villa in second place there, and Forest actually, both 29. Weirdly, top 3 average ratings are all Aston Villa players. No Cardiff wants to be seen in there. All the top goals, all the top. Oh no, Angel Gomez is third on the assists, but they do feature in the clean sheets, which is slightly weird because 6 clean sheets is not as many as they've actually had. I'm guessing they had a switch of goalkeepers at some point as well. However, you can see one of our players in player of the match, Simone Grippo, with 4 alongside Barry Douglas of Leeds and Theo Walcott of Sheffield United, who just beat Derby 7-0. We're tied with points with Sheffield and Leeds directly behind us. That'll be an interesting situation when that comes around the end of the season, if we're all still there. Slightly regretting not doing those 2 teams now, considering the situation and the fact they're only 2 games away. However, sticking with my guns, Bristol City and Portsmouth today. But yes, Simone Grippo, who has scored a free kick because he does that for us. In this game here, in fact, the next game that you didn't see, after the wins against Bolton and Ipswich, who are coincidentally the teams in 22nd and 23rd in the wage bill list. We're still bottom, 4 million a year. Ipswich about 6, Bolton about 8. So, despite the fact Bolton are predicted to come last, we have half their budget, which says everything. Incidentally, we have moved back to 1,000 to 1 to win, be promoted. So, hey, proving you guys wrong. Don't know what that was. Anyway. 3-1 against Millwall, then followed up by a actually slightly disappointing 0-0 against Reading. Reading, one of those teams that got re-promoted last year, but that was followed up by a nice 1-0 win away at Norwich and a 3-1 win against Blackburn, in which we came from behind. Simone Grippo scoring in that one as well, but that was just a natural outside the box shot rather than a free kick. So, yes, as you can see there, we went down in the early stages of the first half, and then we picked up 3 goals in the second half. Braze Lopez, Adriana Ruiz, and Simone Grippo there. Lopez has been playing pretty much every game, but Tex is back. Adriana Ruiz has scored 3 goals since you've last seen him. I think he actually might have been on 4 by the end of last episode, so he scored twice more since then. He's on 6 now. Only 2 behind only 2 behind third place on that top scorer list, actually, so he's not doing too badly. I feel like his performances are either really bad or really good. But that was sadly followed up by a loss against Cardiff, in which we went down in the 3rd minute to a wonder strike from Aron Einar Gunnarsson and didn't manage to bring it back. But you can see we didn't play badly overall. Everyone pretty much on 6.8 or 6.9s for the most part. Sorry, Tex was back in that game. My brain is broken. But yes, Tex is back for these games against Bristol and Portsmouth, which does mean Lopez has stepped out. Now, I do have a situation on the right-hand side because Josh Bowler just does not play well, and I don't know why. So, basically, I think what's going to happen here is I don't play bowler, Everton get mad at me, he probably leaves at some point. I don't know. It's a tricky one, that. Simon Kerr is back to full fitness, but he has maybe promised to sell him, which I'm not mad about because he's on 10 grand a week and he's disinterested every time he does play. So, yeah, I think Braze Lopez is naturally left-footed, though, so I could maybe retrain him to be the inside forward on the right-hand side. Of course, we do have Matt Nichols on that right side as well, who does play well for us, so they might be our 2 choices for the right side now. It might be useful actually having someone who can play on both sides as well there from our training group as sort of a replacement for Dalcio when he gets too old and leaves eventually because he's mad at not playing football. However, we have actually yet to beat Bristol City, which is one of the reasons why I decided to bring you this game. We have played them 3 times. I think we played them in a cup and lost to them in a cup last season. So that's why we've played them 3 times. But they won that one, and we drew them. I think we drew with them both times in the actual league itself. So let's see if we can get a win this time. We are away, and we have just come off a loss to, admittedly, running away unbeaten Cardiff. So I don't think that's really dented team morale that much, as you can see from the right-hand side there, actually. Essentially, it is first choice for this game. Gibson, Grippo, O'Connor, Medina on the back line, Golobovic in goal, Ferreira, Norman, Dominguez in the middle, Tex and Bowler on the wings, and Ruiz up front. Yes, we're back to full strength. Tex is just coming back to full fitness, as is Anthony O'Connor. Actually, Eric Garcia is fully fit, but O'Connor has been playing very well, so I think we're going to leave it as is and see if O'Connor sticks around. He does really help because he is I think he's captain. So his leadership does really help the team in terms of going forward. I'm not really sure why Garcia has not been playing that well this year. Only has 6.65 for the average rating. Admittedly, he didn't play too many games before he got injured, and I think he got injured just before we started winning, so that might be part of the reason. However, O'Connor got injured roughly the same time, so it's been Queiroz who's been playing in the defensive role that entire time. I'm half tempted to bring Queiroz back, but they did say he wants a rest anyway, so it all works out for us right now at the very least. But we'll see if Queiroz stakes a claim for that first choice centre-back position at some point this season. Definitely not dropping Grippo, though. Best performer of the year so far. And they're playing box standard 4-4-2. Pundits and Faith combination does the trick, and we kick off in the dark blue. Brentford, of course, in the red with white. And it's technically our away kit is a black kit, but it shows on the overlay as a blue, dark blue, navy kind of colour. But that's not really that important. I would actually kind of like the orange to be on the outline, just because, well, orange is nicer than grey. But Ruiz is running through the middle of the field right now, just running and running and running. Going to get knocked out there, but Tex picks it up, and Ferreira tries from range. It's a highlight. It's a highlight here as well, as, well, pinball occurs in our box, and it goes down as an own goal for Anthony O'Connor, just as I praised him. Not his fault, but it will affect his rating. And we get to see that in glorious 3D now, as Pack hits one player on the thing, one player on the line, and Medina smacks it against O'Connor as he tries to clear it. And realistically, that shouldn't really go against Medina in terms of rating. But I don't think it's really damaged O'Connor's rating for this game so far, on 6.7 regardless. Now 6.6, of course, as soon as I said that. But we're not really performing that well so far. I'm definitely going to be saying I'm disappointed at half-time. Now, got aggressive on that one. It worked against Blackburn, so let's hope it works again now. I got aggressively disappointed at half-time with them then. And once more now. Now, Adrian Ruiz has not had a good game so far, but he doesn't... It's a weird situation. Unless he actually puts the ball in the net, he doesn't really provide the club with much. Really, that is his strength, finishing. He doesn't really have great stats outside of the finishing section of the old stat block, but we are overrun there. We're not even on positive. I don't know what's happened there, and that's the easy as they like. Portsmouth moving up to 22nd, though. I can see there from the table. I don't know why I'm looking at the bottom of the table, to be honest. We're not there. But I'm not really sure why we're overrun there from that corner. I may have to look into the corner situation, why we didn't have enough men back for that, because that's easy as it likes for John Jules on the middle there. Nothing we could do about that. Just switching our system up to this. Dominguez hasn't had the best game, and I think Ruiz does do a little bit better when he's got a little bit more support to feed him those great chances for him to actually finish them off. I think the problem is supply right now. Same situation with Josh Bowler. I think I might switch him over with Dalcio as well. Just because, once again, Bowler, disappointing. I feel like that's his last chance. I think Bowler is not going to play the next game. I think we will be bringing Nichols on for that one. We've gone positive as well with this 4-2-4 almost. I mean, we're 2-0 down already. It could be a worse scoreline, which it nearly is, but... Sorry, I was very intently watching that go over the bar. But Tex on a long-range free kick over here. O'Connor... Penalty. Penalty's happened. I wonder why everyone just stopped playing football there for a second. O'Connor was the one pushed. So whilst he's got an own goal, he has earned a penalty for us and Ferreira to put in our dedicated penalty taker. And he's hit the post, but he will follow up and score instead. I'm not sure if McGee got concussed by the post there or something. But 2-1. We're back in the game. Let's watch this now, why the goalie doesn't react to the return. Well, he does get up, but he thinks he's going to poke it through the small gap to his right-hand side. Weird choice by the goalie, but we'll take it. 15 minutes to go. Just over 10 now. I think it's time to freshen up left back, I think, with Gibson, for Wood, and we'll move on for there. Ferro and Norman still sort of similar fitness levels, but I think this may end up 2-1. I don't really want to... Attacking feels too much, and that's the end of the game. So it is a 2-1 loss. Unfortunately, we did get ourselves back into it a little bit that game. I like how it says missed penalty and then immediately scored. That tells you exactly the story right there. But Bristol City remain our bogey team. Bristol City's Tyrese John Jules managed to end his recent goal drought, having previously gone 702 minutes without scoring. Well, that makes me feel worse. Wish I hadn't read that now. We gifted that to him as well. Assertive, not happy. Get out there and smash Portsmouth. Intense Sheffield derby, though. So just the one change for this match, as mentioned, Bowler steps out for Nichols and the inside forward on the right-hand side. A good thing happened in the interim, by the way. All of the last year's youth intake became homegrown club players, so if they're not playing on the same day as us for once, which they always seem to be, I do have the option to put one of them on the bench, and that would allow me to put Karen Spencer as the goalkeeper backup rather than Size Kenworthy. But middling, all of our best prospects are typically defenders. I think we've got a decentish right back, decentish left back, which you've already seen from the year before, and a decent centre back. Now the problem with that is, of course, we do have good options in all those roles already. So it's not really worth it. A midfielder is what we could really do. Like a central midfielder is what we could really do with extra cover for right now. Because Jim O'Brien's injured, which only leaves us really with Rossiter in terms of quality backup. Colville is still here, but not amazing. So that might be a January situation. Just looking to another further backup for the centre of the field kind of deal. Especially as Jim O'Brien is now, I think, 32. So I'm not sure how much longer we're going to have him, as much as I love him. That's the situation. However, team unchanged other than Nichols for Bowler. And they line up in an identical formation. Of course, Portsmouth here, a team that came up with us. They didn't really care about that. Turned it around though. So we kick off this match in our natural maroon and orange. And we, after 10 minutes, well, we were on about 70% possession there, briefly, but still around 60. Maintaining them in. We are, in fact, in the late match. I did wonder if that was the situation, but we are in the late match for today. So everyone else has played. Portsmouth have been bumped back down to 23rd. After the last game, we did get knocked down to 7th place. I'm not sure where we started today, and that reminds me to scroll this back to the top, because I think that's where we are. It looks like Leeds lost their match today, though, because Leeds did get ahead of us after we lost the last match, but our point here, as things stands, has put us back ahead. Juan Dominguez gets close to that, but it is with the Portsmouth players right now. No one for that to get to. O'Connor picks that up nicely. Ferreira, Norman, outer text on the left. Gibson will whip that in for Ruiz to head against the bar and then tap in instead. His heading's not the best, but his finishing is great. So we'll let him off. He got it in the goal in the end. Adrian Ruiz, our actual number 9 now, with the absence of Santa Cruz retiring. I gave him the number 9, and there we are. Smashes against the bar. Goalkeeper doesn't even try the first one, to be honest. And finishes off the rebound instead. 1-0. Feel better already. But yeah, Portsmouth had a decent campaign last season. I'm not sure what happened this time around, why they are struggling so much more than they did last year. 1-0 half-time, though, and we are dominating this match. I say 1-0 half-time. Now it's half-time. Played well, room for improvement. There we are. That seems about fair. Well, that worked out even better. For some reason, he went backwards, but saw it now. Don't know what happened there. Don't know why. Ruiz was motivated, then unmotivated, but back to motivated again. And off we run for the second time around. Nichols has taken a knock, but it hasn't gone down as an injury, so he is racing back up again. And we are continuing to stay on top of this match without nothing. So you see how Grippo over the free kick, and he smacks the post. Not bad of free kicks, that lad, even though it's only 12. I feel like we must have someone better than 12 free kicks than him. I think he takes them on one side and someone else on the other. Well, the second half is starting to vanish, so Dominguez not having the best of games again. He had a very strong start, but sort of dipped off recently. So just bring on Rossiter there, I think. Just straight swap that as standard. You see Matt Nichols having a much better game than Bowler has had whilst you've been watching, at the very least. Not really feeling like making much of the choices. Maybe just bring on Chad Lamb from Medina on that right back side. Although Ferreira is quite... We'll leave that for now, as is. And then as time continues to tick away and nothing else further seems to be happening, we will just make this little shift around. We know O'Connor can do that role because he's done it before. And we can just bring on Garcia here instead in the central defender slot. Just shift things around that a little bit more. As we look to close out what seems to be a very dull 1-0 win. Pretty much that being the only highlight. As 40 seconds on the clock, there is time for this to be an actual highlight rather than just the end of the game shenanigans. But Ruiz is not going to get on that. But the goalie might mess up here. No, he does not. Gets it to Gibson, who gives it back to Tex, who gets it poached straight away. Chance for them, maybe, in the dying seconds. Nope. I think this is just a very long end-of-game highlight. But I'll continue running through it just in case it isn't. Nichols will get the overlap here from Lamb. He seems to be much better than that Medina, to be honest. Passes it inside for Roster, who gives it back after... Nope. Hold it. Looks like Leeds did turn around their game and win it. Because they're on 29 points as well, I think that's what it was. I will just double check that table before we vanish off. What did you say? We got away with it. Yeah, they agree. Good, because we have Leeds next. No, they didn't actually. They did end up losing to Ipswich, who are doing marginally better, but it is quite tight in this section down here. You can see sort of 16 to 19 points from 14th through to 20th. So all very much moving and shaking around here. Particularly, one big result to mention, Bolton beating Cardiff. Wow, actually, I've just realised Bolton-Cardiff situation. 90 plus 1, 90 plus 5. Well, that's one way to do it. And entertaining games here and here. Sadly, not here. Although, actually, bottom side's doing quite well. Wednesday, Sunderland, Wigan, Ipswich, Bolton, Brentford. All sides in this bottom section, all winning. I think we actually dodged a bullet there, considering we seem to be the only team in this top half that didn't lose to someone in the bottom half. Now, that does, of course, mean we do have Leeds up next, but as much as it is finally poised for that match right now, as I said before, I kind of want to bring you them towards the end of the season where it may matter in a long run, particularly if we're still in the playoff hunt at that point. So, next time around is not actually going to be too far away, I don't think, actually. I think what I'm going to aim at is West Brom and Preston. Of course, West Brom, one of the relegated sides last season, but not faring too well, 10th at the moment. And Preston, who are currently propping up the table. Currently, things might change on that front, who knows. But I think those two games next, two teams... I'm not sure if we've seen before. Might have played Preston before on thing, but not West Brom, that's for certain. So, West Brom and Preston, slightly shorter gap next time around, but probably be another short gap after that with these two following Derby, Wigan, and the episode after that, I think, because that will allow me to run through January and bring you back after January. So, next two games, West Brom and Preston. I will let you know how the local derbies go, along with this Nottingham Forest, which actually, frankly, isn't that far away. Only a couple of counties. So, until next time, ta-ra.